Hey, Shawn, how are you? Good
Thanks
to
for
see you
having
again.
me.
Yeah, well, it's great to talk to you. Thanks for making this movie. First question is, we talked a little in an interview we did about the class being part of this, but also the city of Cleveland is hugely important. And I'm
Right.
curious, as a character, how important it was to you casting it that way and shooting there and how you utilized it.
I fell in love with Cleveland like immediately, and it's probably because it feels a lot like my hometown of Brockton, Massachusetts. This was originally written for there, and they were like, "Let's go to Cleveland." You know, they get a great tax incentive, and I was like, grumble like everybody else. My hometown, I want to shoot in my hometown, and then you get out there, and I go, "Oh, this is there." You know what I mean? It was like all the churches, foliage. It felt like the same thing. So I fell in love with the town really quick. They're a lot more humble than the people in Boston. You know that attitude, right?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, yeah. So they're warm and took care of me the whole time.
Very Midwestern.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like moving from Boston to there, and you're like, oh, people can be nice, people can be sweet. You know, they're not
Nice.
scared to be sweet.
So I want to ask you also, I feel like you've created a cinematic universe a little bit here. There's loose ends, there's characters we don't see or we hear about. There's also Marshawn Lynch, whose character I'm fascinated by. I want to hear you talk about what you would do outside of this story in this world if you have ideas.
Outside of this story in this world, do you mean the location?
No, I mean like is there a sequel, is there a prequel, is there expanded stories you would tell about these people, or because we end in a place that's I don't want to give anything away, but what would you do next, or would you go back?
My first instinct was, because I'm a weirdo, is I'd love to do a story about Sweetie, a character we never see. He has a really mean car that they borrow outside at the beginning of the movie. I'm like, wait a minute. One day I was like, wait a minute, what is this guy? Why does he have such a fast car? So, you know, if I got my way right now, I'd make Eenie Meanie 2 and a Sweetie movie.
And Eenie Meanie 2, we just follow her again
Yeah,
and
let's
see.
find out where she is, you know, in the world. You know, it's kind of funny thinking about, you know, how do you do the young version story, or how do you do the, you know, her kids older, and where do we go over there? Because having a teenager who could possibly fall into trouble like she did, who knows?
There's last question, and I'll let you go. But there's a family that kind of comes together at the end. There's ideas about friendship and family and those bonds, and when they break and when they stay together. It's the core of the movie in a lot of ways. Can you talk about that in the writing and making sure that was strong for you and how you put it together?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I usually write stories about characters that come from this kind of environment where, you know, in Brockton, Massachusetts, growing up, you know, government cheese, you know, powdered milk in the fridge. You know, there's a lot of families that come in strange shapes and sizes, you know, and sometimes it's a grandmother, you know, raising you. Sometimes, you know, you're being raised by your boyfriend's parents, you know. And Edie and John are each other's only family. They've had since they were 15 years old. So that part of the story is really important to me. But it's about a woman that has to, in the end, change for herself. And she finds herself in the right place, I think, with, you know, looks like Baby Girl's family, right? Out in Brockton, Mass, by the way, if you look at the truck really close.
I didn't notice that. Good. That's a little Easter egg. Very nice.
It'd be smart to stick around Cleveland after, you know, what they did. So.
That's a really good point. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time, man.
so
really,
much, my friend.
appreciate it.
I
Have
enjoyed
fun
it.
tonight.
Thank you so much.